Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review. So tonight, I just got back from watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and here's my spoiler-free review. Now before I start this review, let me go ahead and say this first. I am a big fan of the first Super Mario Bros. Movie. I remember seeing it back when it first came out in 2023, and I remember having an absolute blast with it. So when I heard that they were making the sequel to that first Super Mario Bros. Movie, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was actually pretty excited for it, and this actually became one of my most anticipated films of the year. I thought the trailers for this movie looked really good, and that's how I got so excited for this movie. I've heard a bunch of mixed opinions about this movie. Some people think this movie is bad, some people think this movie is amazing. But guys, now that I have seen this movie, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I had a pretty fun time with it. Is the movie perfect? No, absolutely not. But is the movie as bad as some people make it out to be? No, absolutely not. I don't think this movie is better than the first movie, but I thought this was a solid follow-up to that first movie, and I had a fun time with it. There are a lot of things I want to say about this movie, so let's break down the best and worst parts of the movie. The first positive for this movie is the visuals and the animation. I think it's safe to say that the visuals and the animation in this movie are absolutely out of this world, and there are a lot of scenes that will leave you in awe, especially the scenes that take place in space. Another positive for this movie is the voice castings. By far the biggest highlight of this movie for me was Donald Glover as Yoshi. Whoever thought of casting him as Yoshi deserves a huge raise because he absolutely knocked it out of the park as Yoshi. He was easily the highlight of this film. Same thing goes for Jack Black as Bowser. He was also another huge highlight for me. He was already great as Bowser in the first movie, but his performance in this movie was even better. Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. was a really good addition to this movie, and I thought Bowser Jr. was a really cool villain. And Glenn Powell as Fox McCloud was spectacular. Imagine seeing Hangman from Top Gun Maverick if he was a fox that knew how to fly spaceships. That's basically what Glenn Powell's character is in this movie, and I'm not complaining because he was so great in this movie. Another positive for this movie is the fight sequences. I thought the fight sequences in this movie were very entertaining to watch, and there was one scene with Bowser Jr. that I thought was really dope. And the final positive for this movie is the humor. I thought the humor didn't feel forced at all, and there were a bunch of scenes in this movie that had me dying of laughter. Now on to the negatives. The first negative for this movie is the pacing. The movie has a runtime of an hour and 38 minutes, and I definitely felt it because I do think it went by way too quick. Another negative for this movie is the story. I do think the story of this movie was a bit messy, and there was so much going on in this movie that just kind of took away from the main plot. And the last and biggest criticism I have with this movie is the lack of Rosalina. Don't get me wrong, I thought Rosalina was a great addition to this movie, and I thought Brie Larson gave a great performance as this character. But despite Rosalina being a great character in this movie, she doesn't have a lot of screen time, and she was used as a plot device rather than an actual character. And that is honestly such a shame because I feel so sorry to all the Rosalina fans out there who were super excited to see her in this movie. Overall, I had a really fun time in the theaters watching this. I thought this was a really solid sequel to the first Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I would definitely recommend it if you're just looking for a fun time at the movies. And the rating I would give for this is a solid 7 out of 10. But anyways, yeah, that's my review on the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and thank you for watching. If you want to see more reviews like this, follow me for more. Peace out.